What's going on, guys? What would Vinny do? Podcast. First, I want to start by thanking Mr. Murray Richmond, the legendary Don't Worry Murray, for sharing his journey with us. Amazing man, amazing attorney, still doing it. I'm gonna start this week. Before we get into some good real estate stuff, I want to kind of start by saying life's a gift and we're not promised tomorrow. I say this with true sincerity. Stop worrying about stuff that doesn't matter. Stop being negative about stuff. You don't know how good you have it until you get that phone call, you get those test results. Just be your best you. That's kind of my message this week. Love what you do and the people who support you. Doing this show, I've been really admiring. I had a lot of admiration for not only the people's journey, but a lot of times they talk about the spouse who supported them through the journey. And it's a big thing. It's a big thing in business, in relationships, to have that support system. If you're doing stuff you don't like, that doesn't make you happy, you got to figure out a way to stop doing it. You know, the great John Lennon was asked as a kid, what do you want to be when you get older? His response was happy. That's pretty smart kid, right? Smarter than most adults this day and age. So I'm sure people didn't understand it when he said it, think he was smart, but that's amazing. I know it's easier said than done, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. If you're in that bad relationship, fix it, try to get out. If your boss, you're not stuck. People think they're stuck, like you're not stuck. If your boss is not treating you good, work towards getting another job, something you like. And I'm not just talking smack, folks. I've been there and I fixed my situation. So when I tell you it can be done, I'm telling you because I did it. I wasn't getting treated well at my job. I had kids. I couldn't just abruptly quit. So I worked on my other business in my time off when I wasn't working. Again, it wasn't easy, but trust me, it was worth it. Happiness is everything in life. I wake up excited, thinking about my business, my podcast, my guests. That's what it's supposed to feel like. Not knots in your stomach or dreading waking up or going home. And I had those feelings. Trust me. Find something that moves you and go after it. Be happy, folks. That's the message today. Whatever you do, just be happy. And gratitude is the secret. If you're grateful, you're automatically happy. I learned that. Happy is a default of gratitude. Everybody knows, and it's not easy, but you got to do it. Everybody knows one of the things that makes me happy, and that's real estate. So I'm excited about a new format on What Would Vinny Do. On the weeks when I don't have amazing guests on, we're going to discuss some hot real estate topics with some qualified guests that are going to speak on the topics. And tonight, so tonight, without further ado, I got my man, mortgage banker extraordinaire, the Wolf of Mortgages, JFK, calling in. What's up, my brother? You there?
I am. Yes, I am, brother. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Thank you for calling in, my man.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. So I know there's a million things we can discuss tonight, but I want to touch on specifically pre-approvals, like the ins and outs, A to Z, what they mean to a homeowner. Are they worth the paper they're printed on? I couldn't think of a better guy to help us out than Mr. Kelly. So I want to thank you for your time. But even before we start to talk about it, I just want to say, me and John, we've done business together. We've become friends, and we text each other positive texts and affirmations. And I want to just tell you, I love the one you sent me today. My guy Gary V. Everybody knows that's my guy. I think your guy's Grant Cardone, correct?
I'm Grant Cardone. I have a few other my friends out there. I like Grant.
I think I put you. Did I put you on to Gary V, or you knew about Gary?
Actually, you did put me on to Gary V. 100% did, yes.
Cool. And you put me on to Grant. I wasn't really up. You gave me the 10 times book. So that's what we do for each other, right? And it's great to have. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
You got to feed the energy. You got to find like-minded people because it's not easy. And if you can combine that energy with somebody else who's got the same mindset in the same predicament, it just makes it that much easier. I like being around like-minded guys.
I feel the same way. And what you sent me today was about how Gary says when you're 47 years old, people are starting to wind down when that's really the halftime in life. And I love it because that's how I feel. I mean, I'm in here making adjustments like Belichick, and I'm ready to go out and slay the second half.
I love it.
So thank you for the positive stuff, and thank you for being in my circle, like you said, like-minded people.
Thank you.
Let's get into it. So let's talk about pre-approval. Where do you want to start? Where do you think we should start?
Let's start right from the top, pre-approval. So essentially, you can't really start the process of buying a home without a pre-approval letter. I always tell people, because a lot of people will get sent to me from a realtor, and they'll tell me, hey, I'm already pre-approved. And the first thing I say to them is that pre-approval isn't worth the paper it's written on. And any decent realtor should know the same thing. Basically, what happens is most people, in my business as well, I know there's guys I've seen have a team of 4 or 5 younger guys in the business. The younger guys don't really know what truly is or isn't a deal, and they would be instructed to send the guy a pre-approval. When the guy finds it, at that point in time, we'll collect all the documents, and we'll find out at that point in time if it's really a deal. And for me, I just would never do business that way. I'm very fortunate that I don't have a ton of realtors I do business with, but I actually have really, really high quality realtors that I've become very close friends with. Okay, so I always say I would do more for a friend than I would ever do for a quick buck. And my attitude is I'd rather go the extra mile up front, collect all of the documents, run the credit, review the file thoroughly. If I'm not 100% certain if it's a deal or not, have an underwriter review it before I even send a pre-approval. And I really don't think there's too many guys that do that because, one, it's very time-consuming, and two, it costs money. I have an assistant, I have an underwriter in my office. A lot of guys don't have those tools, and ultimately, sometimes, I have an individual. You actually sent them to me on Monday night. It was Marissa's deal. The guy comes to my office with about a stack of pages 4 or 5 inches high. Just to scan those documents and put everything in order could take an hour and 15 minutes to run the credit. A lot of guys aren't going to spend the time to do that. They're just going to simply send you the pre-approval. And ultimately, you have to make sure that the guy you're doing business with has thoroughly reviewed everything, ran the credit, because when you have that pre-approval, you want to know 100%. That guy's 100% good to go. And if it's not,
right.
You'll spin your wheels and you'll waste a month of your life.
So if I can understand what the message you're trying to convey is, you got to make sure they're using a reputable mortgage, a guy who knows what he's doing, because otherwise it might not be true. Is that what you're trying to say?
Exactly, 100%. Exactly what I'm saying. And I'll take it a step further. And I won't mention any realtors by name, even though you know who all of them are. I have a deal recently where the realtor, the guy was pre-approved. The realtor said, listen, I know you're pre-approved, but I want you to speak to my guy, John Kelly, just to confirm you're pre-approved. He sent the gentleman to me. The guy was very combative, wouldn't answer any questions, wouldn't send me any documents, and essentially told me, look, buddy, I don't have time for this, I'm already pre-approved, and hung up the phone on me. I then relayed that information back to the realtor. That realtor, he was stuck. He had a pre-approval from another bank. He went into contract with that guy, and it's been over 4 months, and now he's finding out the guy was a fraud. He didn't qualify. And so now it was his own listing, incidentally. So now he's got tied up in the deal for several months. The deal's not closing. And I don't know what's going to happen with that. It could possibly be that he loses the listing because the guy's something else.
Right. So you're talking about the consequence to the realtor. I'm going to take it one further and talk about the consequence to the owner, where they're not getting their house sold, and it's 4 months on the market, which could cost them money now, correct?
Yep, 100%. Money, taxes, two sets of schools, 2 sets of taxes. Your kids are in school. It could be a disaster. 2 mortgages.
So I've done what you just said, that whole scenario. With you, I've had guys that were going to buy a house, and the time was of the essence. And I asked you to make sure they were a good deal before I to lock them up in a contract, because I didn't want that to happen to my owner. So that's kind of a good method if you're a good realtor, to have someone like yourself to make sure the guy's solid, so you don't lock the owner up and then you waste 2 months or 3 months, like you just said, correct?
I think you'd absolutely be crazy not to do that.
Okay.
And I always tell my realtors, listen, even if you guys go with me, that's okay, as a courtesy to you, because listen, my realtors are my bread and butter. So even if I don't get the deal, I'm happy to take the time out of my day to review a file thoroughly. So even if the guy comes in, he's pre-approved with Chase, he insists on using Chase, I said, no problem, I'll still review the documents, I review everything ready, he's good to go. He's going to go with Chase, that's fine. But at least now you know with 100% certainty the guy is legit.
So let's talk about that, because you get a lot of people who want to use Chase because they have their money in Chase. And for me, I'm of the mindset Chase is a good place to deposit your money, but not really to do mortgages. Right. You want someone who does mortgages, right? So correct. What's the difference between getting a pre-approval with someone like yourself versus a Chase, a Citibank, etc.? Is there a difference?
Huge difference. You walk into Chase, the person you're speaking with 9 out of 10 times is not a mortgage banker. They're a clerk getting paid, 12 or 13 bucks an hour by Chase. That tells you, that collects your documents and says, yeah, here's your pre-approval letter. Essentially, it's a glorified bank teller. I'll give you a great story. You know me with my stories. There's a gentleman who you know him very well, good friend of mine, Albanian guy. He has a house in Chapel One. The house has no mortgage on it. Okay? He walked into Chase. They told him they could do a loan for him, no problem. Not an issue. They collected all of his docs. They gave him a pre-approval. What he decided to do was to do a refinance on that property. He went to take out a couple $100,000 and put it towards another deal. He went to do the refinance. Now, mind you, this guy's a multi-millionaire. He has $1 million home with no mortgage. Granted, he is self-employed, which makes things a little bit tricky. And the cash out amount they offered him was $60,000. $60,000. I did that same deal for him, and I got him the $300,000 he was looking for. But he originally went into his bank, that he has 7 figures in that bank. He's a big customer, and they even told him they could do the deal. It's not even like he's some schlep walking in off the street. He's a customer of that bank, and they misinformed him. And that was his experience with Chase.
Okay. So you definitely tell clients out there looking to get a home, first-time home buyers, whatever, they're better off using mortgage bankers than the bank where they have their money.
Use a guy who all he does is mortgages. I can't open a checking account with me. You can't open an IRA with me. I'm not a notary. I don't do any of that stuff. All I do is mortgages. Find a mortgage professional, an individual who focuses 100% of his attention on mortgages and nothing else.
I mean, it makes sense. It sounds like common sense to me, but to most, it's not, right?
You'd be surprised how many people say, hey, well, I've been banking with TD Bank for 15 years, and I get a kick out of it. It's ridiculous. But, I just, again, with the story, we did a deal. The individual was sent to me by a realtor that was the listing agent. I did not know the buyer's agent, but the buyer's agent and I had lunch on Friday, and we're going to start a nice relationship. So the buyer's agent had a client, pre-approved at Bank of America. The listing agent said, under no circumstances am I going to take that pre-approval. He has to be reviewed by my guy, John Kelly, otherwise I'm not going to accept the offer. They sent me the guy, the DTI was like 75%. We then added his wife, the DTI was like 65%. We then added his son. So we had to get 2 additional co-borrowers. And I had to fix one of the individual's credit. And I had to have him pay off his Mercedes-Benz.
So just for our listeners, John, clarify what DTI is.
DTI stands for debt to income ratio. Your ratio has to be below a certain level in order to qualify for the loan. So this individual who banks with Bank of America, who had a pre-approval with Bank of America, who assumed he was going to get a deal because they told him they could do it. Not only did he not qualify, I had to add 2 co-borrowers, which basically means 2 other sources of income, and I had to pay off his car in order to make the deal work.
So it sounds like you're saying sometimes you got to get creative, and I guess a guy at Chase that's is not going to think to be able to do these things, right? So you're coming up with ideas.
I would say I wouldn't say that necessarily, because I'm sure there's some good guys at Chase, but the point is, this wasn't Chase, this was Bank of America. But who the hell at Bank of America gave this guy a pre-approval letter? They never ran his credit. They never reviewed his income. And had they done so, I could tell, because when I pulled the credit, I could see who pulled the credit in the last 90 days. So he just walked into Bank of America as a customer, told him he needed a pre-approval letter, and somebody in the bank just gave him one. Not worth the paper it was written on.
Okay. It's very interesting stuff. So I'm going to tell you something I run into a lot, as a realtor. Of course, I asked them if they're pre-approved, and you always get, don't worry about it, I own houses already, right? So I'm not really worried about it. If you want to buy this house, that's what you need to do. And some people don't understand that just because you own other houses, that might make this transaction harder, correct? Because you're already on mortgages.
Exactly. You already have a loan against your debt income.
Right, which is a debt, correct? And that's right.
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. So that's of course I kind of figured that as well. I just wanted to shoot that by you for our listeners, just so they know when you're out there and you're telling me don't worry about the pre-approval. I'm really not worried. If you want to buy the house, these are the steps we need to take. I'm not trying to bust your chops.
Yeah, I would say in any business transaction, when you're asking somebody for some kind of financial proof and their response is don't worry, that's typically a red flag.
That's the time to worry. That's the minute you worry.
Exactly.
That's good. That's good. I like that. So obviously we see the pre-approval is important, and we know. I'm going to talk about market conditions now. So it can be the difference versus winning a house if you're a buyer agent or not. I'm a known listing agent. I mean, I list a lot of houses in Country Club, Pelham Bay, Trogs Neck. So if I'm going to get multiple offers on a house, which I normally do, I'm going to look to see who they're working with. And I'm going to tell that homeowner there's a better chance this deal's going to go through, right? So to get the house, it's important. People don't understand that.
Yeah, 100% correct. I'll tell you this. There's deals I have where I don't even know who the listing agent is. But I'll get a call from the listing agent and say, hey, John Kelly, nice to meet you. I have 3 offers on a property. We've never done business before, but I know your reputation. And I've heard that if you tell me it's good, it's 100% good. And that guy will confirm with me. And there's deals I've gotten where there's multiple offers on the property, but the listing agent will go with my deal on my pre-approval. And I don't say this in a boastful way. I'm just being honest. And it's because I have a reputation of if I put my name on the pre-approval, you know all of the due diligence has been done.
Yes, I believe it, because it's not always about the highest offer. Like you said, the highest offer could be a fantasy offer because they're not going to get the mortgage anyway.
When people say, well, this guy's putting down 50%, as if that's a great deal, a great deal. A lot of times the reason why the guy's putting down such a large deposit is because he doesn't qualify for high loan amounts.
That's great. Yeah, no.
Buying a house for $500K and he's paying down $250. That's because he can't get a loan for $265.
Great.
And therefore he's forced to put down that amount of money.
Great point. So people think the guys putting down less money are underqualified when they might be more qualified than the person putting down more money, right?
Exactly.
That's great. That's great insight. Yeah. I think it's a lot with the old school mentality when they don't understand, like they see an FHA loan, how they're going to buy a house with 3% down. I'm like, trust me, it's going to happen.
It's an FHA loan. I don't want to go up, but you want to go FHA. What difference does it make?
Right.
If you're selling your house for $600,000, and you're getting the $600,000 at the closing table, what difference does it make to you if the guy put down $300,000 or if he put down $30,000? It's irrelevant.
Exactly.
What should make a difference to you is the bank who's doing the deal has a commitment letter for you to $24 to $40 after you sign a contract, and you're guaranteed you're closing your deal in less than 30 days.
That's it. So I think we got some good stuff on pre-approvals. I'm trying to think if there's anything we left out, anything you could think of that we could hit them with.
No, I would just say, listen, this is a very tough business. The market's conditions also are getting tougher. If you're a realtor out there who's doing your thing right now, you've got to be absolutely insane not to take the advice that you and I are giving tonight. And this isn't some kind of promo for myself. In no way, shape, or form is that. But you need to find a guy like me who you partner up with and you can have faith in, and who's going to run the deals for you before. The biggest tough part about this business is you got a guy who's new to the business. He's running off the right once he hasn't made time, because you don't make money right away, you know that. And then all of a sudden 4 or 5 deals, and you start to feel excited, and then all 4 or 5 of those deals fall apart. And you say, how did this happen? And the way it happened was you never had 4 or 5 deals in the first place.
Right.
Because you didn't do the work up front, didn't do your due diligence, and have a guy pre-approve those loans. And time is money, and I always say my job is to cut the fat. My job is to save you time. And so you can send me 20 people, and I've had people send me a ton of deals, and every deal it's not good. It's almost like they're disappointed that I'm giving them the bad news. And I find it ridiculous. You should be grateful that I just saved you, these 10 or 12 headaches, because you would have been running around these people if I didn't do the due diligence.
100%. And I could testify to that, because you did it for me on Edison with the guy. Remember with the guy who's waiting for the home equity, and I went in a different direction, and we're closing next week. If I would have tied it up with that guy, it's exactly how you just described it, right?
And let me tell you, it's funny because the issue with that guy, he kept saying, I'm going to get a home equity. I said, sir, all due respect, you don't have the home equity currently, so your DTI right now is a certain number. Once that home equity comes in, now you have additional debt. And so he just couldn't get his hands around this. Yeah, okay, the deal qualifies, but it doesn't qualify. It's qualifying without you having a home equity line of credit. And once you add that debt and that monthly payment to the equation, there's no guarantee you qualify anymore. You get it? And so, you understand the numbers. Let's say your DTI has to be under 50%. Your DTI is 47. The guy said, yeah, I'm good. But now all of a sudden you have another loan, and that's $400 or $500 a month. Now your DTI shoots up to 58, 59%. Guess what? You don't have a loan anymore. And so these are the things that you need to think of outside the box, because that's exactly the deal that would have tied up for 7 months. And I believe that was a listing of a friend of yours. So, not only do you not get a deal, you potentially hurt a friendship.
And it was under duress. It needed to. So that's another. You remember? It needed to be. There was some stuff going on that we needed to get that closed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. And it seems like it's always the tough deals and the close deals that there's always a backstory on. Some deals just close easy. It's never an issue, but it's always the loan. Or the deal, I should say, where there's duress, there's 3 different stories involved, and time's up seats, and that's the deal where you really need somebody to do their due diligence. And in any business, if you always like to use sports as an analogy. It's like, listen, I'm dribbling down the court and there's 30 seconds left. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the point guard, I need to know the guy I'm fishing ball off to. He's going to score for us. And you need to have that confidence because you've done it with a certain guy numerous times, as opposed to somebody you never heard of before, or somebody's really not going to give that kind of effort. You need to have a team. And if you don't have a team in this business, you got no business doing this business.
That's it. And people you can rely on, like you said, and trust. Yeah, that's it.
Of course.
And
I always laugh when I get people bad news, and I get a kick out of it. It's never experienced people or people that do well. It's somebody who's relatively new, and I'll give them bad news, and I'm saying, bad news is part of the equation. Good news, bad news. You want that information as quickly and as thoroughly as possible. If you want me to sugarcoat stuff and tell you everything's going to be okay, I'm not really the guy for you. Like that deal we did in City Island. I remember telling you we're going to be fine, but she had some credit issues. Our credit score was a little jammed up, and the way she made her income, she had like 7 or 8 different jobs. And so I knew we were good, but I explained to you the complication of her particular transaction. A lot of people don't, and I was never worried. But you should always know, as the realtor, exactly the ins and outs of your transaction.
Was that the one with the shed?
Yes.
Oh, okay. You know what? We could do a show on just problems that occur. People wouldn't believe it, right?
You don't need a lot of time to hear that show because God knows everything has its problems.
The shed was too high, and they didn't want to take the shed down. If you could believe it, right?
Yeah. That was, and the guy was going through divorce to sell. Let me take down the shed. Simple fix.
I was like, we'll go do it. Remember? It was getting to the point where we were going to go take the shed down.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I think we covered it pretty well. I appreciate you giving us this insight, man. It's good stuff.
I'm happy to help, and always a pleasure to be on the show, my friend.
Actually, you're going to be on the show next week, and we're gonna do your journey, which I can't wait for. I'm excited about. Listen, when you started talking about basketball, I was going to ask you today, but you know how my show goes, so we'll save it for next week. You know what I mean?
I love it. Fair enough.
So, and I'm thinking we're going to do this a lot. So you're going to be on more than just next week because we're going to hit them with some topics, and we're going to do what we did today, and I love it, and I appreciate you, brother.
Anyway, likewise, brother, and anything I can do to get involved, be involved, I love it because I really enjoy what you're doing. And also, I think, for me in this business, when I got started, there wasn't a show like this I could listen to. And if there was, I just, as you know, like I invited you into my circle, I like being, as I said earlier in this conversation, I like being around like-minded guys. And I think it's just a good energy, guys that are, out there hustling, trying to get stuff done. It's just it's just good energy. And so a show like this, I think it's great because if I was a realtor in this business 8 months, 10 months, I'm struggling. I don't know what's going on. Right? Even the flip side of that, I'm not struggling. I'm doing great. You still need to realize, hey, you might be doing great, but it's not always going to be like this. You know what I'm saying? Some guys get lucky. But either way, to have the insight from a guy who's been doing this over a decade like yourself, it's very good insight.
Thank you. I appreciate the kind words. Listen, my man Murray said I'm doing some innovative stuff. Murray, don't worry, Murray. So
I heard him say it myself. I can testify to that. And, that was definitely, if you don't know Murray, you'll know him after you watch the intriguing guy.
Thank you, John. And I look forward to next week, my brother. Have a great night.
Likewise. To you as well, my friend. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
So, great stuff from my man John Kelly, the Wolf of Mortgages. I can't wait to have him on next week. I want to thank all the supporters. So what would Vinny do? If there's any topic you want me to discuss, send your emails to vinny@whatwouldvinnydo.com. Like our page, comment, subscribe. If you think you'd be a good guest or you know someone that would, let us know. Thank you as always. Have a great night. Till next time. And remember, what would Vinny do? Stay happy.